Welcome to Culina, the world's first gastrolab. We've fused biotechnology, architecture and design to create a new kitchen concept. Experience it for yourself. Culina goes back to traditional processes of cooking, re-establishing our connection to the food we eat. Here, we air dry food in low humidity and low heat, using natural ventilation through air bricks. In this indoor farm, we grow organic fruit and vegetables. We use hydroponics, a method that uses nutrient solutions instead of soil to drastically reduce water usage and pest problems. These vertical panels are filled with grow stones, which we repurpose from glass waste for superior air and water retention. Irrigation is constant and controlled, ensuring a bountiful harvest all year round. Culina's architecture emphasises how everything is connected. Everything that is generated is conserved and utilised fully, from heat to refrigeration, so you have our oven room to thank not only for your food, but also for this dining room's cosy temperature. Speaking of which, please take your seat and make yourself comfortable. At Culina, you don't choose a predetermined dish. Instead, you gather your ingredients, starting with your main. The algorithm suggests ideal combinations which suit your developing flavour profile. Here, you have a selection of pickles which complement your choices so far. After you've made your selections, we surprise you with your unique meal. Your dish is Mesosaurus gravlax. Excellent choice. Mesosaurus has been extinct for centuries, but you can enjoy it today thanks to scientific leaps in protein production. No animal will be harmed in the creation of your dish. Would you like to learn about the technologies that makes this possible? Wonderful! This is where all our protein is made. From beloved favourites like chicken, beef and pork, to more exotic options like Mesosaurus, dinosaur meat and dodo poultry. Our chefs are even experimented with yet unnamed meats. It's all possible through Culina Pro Yeast, patented perfusion bioreactor technology that harvests protein from genetically engineered yeast. Select from our range of cell pods, each a customised yeast cell line for production of your meat of choice. You can even design meats thanks to advances in synthetic DNA technology. Here, our yeast cell line is optimised to efficiently secrete recombinant protein via its secretory pathway. Proteins are transported into the surrounding culture medium and selectively filtered into a protein pipeline where they travel to a protein reservoir under high rates of perfusion. Proteins arrive at a second chamber where larger target proteins are separated by size exclusion chromatography. With the help of gravity and additional vacuum enhancements, the protein is forced down the column, while smaller nutrient molecules are recycled back into the reactor vessel for continuous fermentation. Finally, protein molecules diffuse into a scaffold chamber, where they bind to a macroporous 3D scaffold. The 3D matrix provides a structure alike that of meat tissue, where immobilised proteins begin to collect. And there we have it! Clean meat with unrivaled taste and texture. As your chef finishes cooking your dish, let's see where the rest of your ingredients come from. Here in Culina, the chef is not the only one creating your meal. We also make use of tiny energy, working with natural processes that transform, distill and flavour your food. These processes happen throughout the building, where the requirements of these microbial processes informed the architecture, making it a truly symbiotic environment for both microorganisms and humans. The tropical room obtains its humid environment from a sous vide bath for slow cooking. The humidity provides the perfect conditions for microorganisms like Aspergillus oryzae to multiply to produce a key ingredient, koji. Fermentation mostly takes place in the cellar. Bacteria and yeasts enable us to lacto-ferment fruit and vegetables, create interesting vinegars, and make the many flavours of kombucha we pair with our dishes. The refrigeration room is kept at a steady low temperature by evaporation cooling and natural insulation, so it doesn't use up a lot of energy. Once we've reached the flavour profile we are seeking through our microbial processes, We place the jars and containers in the refrigeration room to halt activity by reducing the microorganisms' energy levels, thereby maintaining the perfect taste until required. We end back in the dining room, which is as simple and natural as the food we serve. Everything comes together on your plate. Your dish is not just a meal, but a medley of tiny energy, biotechnology, and human ingenuity. We hope that touring Culina made the invisible visible, adding richness to your experience and a sense of connection to your food. Speaking of which, your food has arrived. Enjoy your meal.
You may be asking, how did this all begin? Culina evolved when 4 students from completely different backgrounds came together with a shared love for food. I'm Emma, a molecular biologist. I am fascinated by the vibrant potential of microorganisms for sustainable development. My current focus is on microbial cell technology for clean meat production.
I'm Dawn from South Korea. My background is in user-centered spatial design. I helped Emma design a user-friendly bioreactor as part of a bigger immersive experience.
I'm Pippa, the aspiring architect of the group. I'm working on creating a common language to make the invisible world of microorganisms an accessible design tool. Using tiny energy principles, ecological design can be encouraged to harness the abundant energy embodied in microorganisms.
I'm Adrian, a medical doctor from the Philippines, now studying innovation design. I'm investigating ways to introduce radical ideas through incremental changes by involving people in the iterative process. That got me interested in helping Pippa translate her ideas into an early prototype.
When the unprecedented pandemic, COVID-19, brought the whole world to a standstill, flaws in our food economy began to show, and with it, a newfound urgency for sustainable innovation. These 4 friends saw this as an opportunity. The lockdown didn't stop them from doing what they did best: cooking up innovations. Combining their interests, they came together to create the very first GastroLab picnic. And with that, Culina was born. An innovation using a mixture of ancient techniques and tangible biotechnologies, imagined into one cohesive system. The aim of Culina was to provide a solution with immediate implementation to prevent humans heading into a dystopian future, but an ecological one with strong connections to nature. What set it apart was a deliberate effort to work with nature, not replace it, and to balance a complex science concept with accessible design. When Culina first opened, there was praise and there was controversy.
GMO or clean meat. Genetically modified organisms, or GMOs, have long caused controversy, despite evidence suggesting they do not pose any human health risk, but provide nutrient enhancements and economic benefits.
We're not sure about the nutritional benefit. Farmers are losing jobs.
I see it as an opportunity. I earn much more than when I was working the fields.
Vegan is no longer niche. It's a mega trend.
The Culina prototype became a momentous open-source experiment. Lawmakers started considering the GastroLab concept as an answer to food security. Scientists and chefs collaborated in the design of new meats. Culina's website became an open-source cornucopia of recipes, resources, and ingredients, inspired by the founder's cookbook that made sustainable cooking techniques available to everyone. Architects are now exploring how to incorporate the concept into a residential tower block, replacing individual kitchens with a modified GastroLab running through the entire building. The vision is to ultimately integrate food security with modern life in urban cities. From a humble picnic to a GastroLab and finally to the home. Culina is a testament to how biotechnology and design can come together to create ecological solutions for a sustainable future.